he could be kind of hidden, so that's why he's not being seen. So that's something to keep in mind too. I actually am not thinking he got very far, depending on what because I kept hearing like within 5 miles. So I know that they've sort of, I cannot breathe with
Los Cristianos, around 20 miles away. The scene here looks quite peaceful. You can almost reach out and touch it, but it's actually several hundred yards away. Local residents think that he came down this path, which comes to an abrupt end about halfway down the valley. It's too dangerous to continue, but he may well have scrambled down this slope here and made his way to the rocks. That's 200 meters away from me. We've been told that the ravine down there is particularly treacherous. A villager here told us that he comes mountaineering at the spot using
orientation of that. I think I see him stumbling around and being actually, according to the cars, don't feel he's too awfully far from where he left. I do see him leaving that place, but he was sort of trapped because, and he might be trapped where he's at. Like he might have fallen just right. You know what I mean? Away is something I continue to keep seeing, or stumbling at some point. We should just say that. But when I see him stumbling like through rocks or like uneven ground. A dirt road. Like, you know how sometimes we have these dirt roads and they have like rocks or gravel and they're like kind of uneven when you walk on them, like say you're going hiking or anything like that. Like it feels like uneven ground, and I feel like I'm kind of turned around system, and for some reason I take off, I'm disoriented. And the reason why I feel like at some point he had to be walking on uneven ground. For some reason it feels like super rocky. Like I like stumble, fall, lose my footing, can't see, that kind of feeling. It feels like maybe a hillside or a cliff or something of that sort. I keep seeing like kind of like jagged rock. It's like really kind of rocky in that area, but there's shrubs and things like that. But I keep getting reference to like a dirt trail or a dirt road. And it might be
of the village of Masca. The spot in the rural Tino National Park is perhaps only half a mile from the telephone mast which picked up the last mobile phone signal from his phone. It is believed that it was in this area that Jay made his last call to a friend station in Los Cristianos, around 20 miles away. The scene here looks quite peaceful. You can almost reach out and touch it, but it's actually several hundred yards away. Local residents think that he came down this path, which comes to an abrupt end about halfway down the valley. It's too dangerous to continue, but he may well have scrambled down, throw himself down on ropes.
A dirt trail or dirt road off of like a regular paved road. Because that's kind of like coming in. So, because it's like, that might be where the crossroads were. Like he should have taken the paved road, and instead he took this dirt road, because it's like, here's the paved road, because I keep seeing a paved road, and I don't know if the paved road kind of turned around the mountains, because I kind of get like it might have been curvy, but it's like I veer off or I go off. Like maybe I'm thinking I could take a short, I don't know. I feel like super disoriented. And for some reason I feel like maybe he's been overlooked or something, like say almost like a canyon crevice. Somewhere that's, it feels like I've fallen down into, but it feels very rocky around, like with shrubs, but then there's water. And I feel like I fall. Like that's how it keeps, that's what I keep feeling. And I keep hearing like if you were to walk on dirt or something of that sort. So I don't know. They also always show me like jagged rocks, edges, foliage, brushes, cactuses. I also feel like a path. I feel like I walk up instead of down. Again, I don't know why this is almost like I'm going this way for my own reasons. I feel like I take a path to my left. I don't know if there's a path there. Now I can be flip-flopped and mirrored sometimes, but that's how it feels. And I feel like when I'm down the path at a certain point, I'm looking back like I've come too far now. But the path is not clear. And I'm like, do I continue or do I turn around and go back? I'm too far to turn back now.
continue. But he may well have scrambled down this slope here and made his way to the rocks.
And like maybe I feel things are closer than they are, or they seem to be, towards, I guess, the water, the way that it comes across, but very rocky type crevices. There may be places when it rains, there's water, and he may be, in a sense, end up having water around him or be in it at some point. But it's almost like if I could get to water, I could cool off. I could maybe find some. I don't know. I feel like I get a hiker sign, and I saw some on the map. I'm not ending up where I think I'm going to take a left. Like, again, maybe he was going towards water or something. I don't know. I feel like I get turned around and not meaning to. And like it's taking me forever to get where I'm trying to get. But it feels like at some point he slipped, fell, and there's a reference to a head injury. I also feel like I'm stumbling around at some point. I do feel like these loose rocks or something. There's a reference again to like cliffs or jagged rocks. I think the bush, so to speak, rocky areas, and I keep smelling like that smell of fresh weeds or some sort of bush. I don't know, when it rains it smells stronger. I also can smell the ocean and hear seagulls. That could be, I don't know how far out here, like the ocean, how close the ocean is or whatever. It's hard to tell on a map. Everything seems further and closer. It could just be directional, okay?
But he may have been trying to head towards the sea, perhaps taken the path down here, and then thought he could walk to the beach, turn left, and head back to Los Cristianos, avoiding...
Like I could see it almost, or maybe that was his idea. I'm not sure. Maybe he's lost his footing trying to get to it, but he's fallen down somewhere. You can't see him from the sky. I also see a group of cactus by me, like a larger group, or by him, but I'm in his shoes. So, like a larger group, maybe a couple of those cactuses like put together. Things together, like, but these bushes I kind of see similar to the ones here in the desert. I don't know what they're called. They have like little flowers on them, or I kind of also reminds me of like sagebrush, but I have some like similar ones here. I don't know what they're called. They have kind of like a strong smell. So I would take the search up a bit, not down, and maybe towards the ocean or hard. He's not seeable. He's fallen in a spot where he's covered by foliage and may even be on crevice or close to one. But I have to say trail. So you would have to go off the trail to find him.
Local residents think that...
I had to, and right before I said that, my head just started hurting really badly all of a sudden. Like I've hit my head.